And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Day 5 continues now in your Asia qualifier. This one, a pretty important game. We've got Tongfu taking on Hyper Glory Team. These teams are more or less neck and neck. HGT team sitting at 16-4. As for Tongfu, they're 17-3 right now in the top 4. And it looks like, at the rate things are going, they probably will stay there. Behind these two are Speed Gaming and Big God, both of them 13-9, and then the unwashed, unshaven masses beneath them. Magneto, Immortal Magneto, Lai, Mineski, Dream, DK. All of these teams looking like they're probably not going to make it to the big dance. With that said, of course, you want to finish top 4. If you do, you go directly to the LAN finals, or to the main event, I should say. And, well, if you fall short of top 4, you're a wildcard team. You can still play into the tournament, but Navi, PR, and others will be waiting for you. So, well, with that said, I'm out to Beyond the Summit. Your draft now underway. HGT, going to go for the Ember Spirit. Normally it's ZSMJ, but lately we have seen Air playing it, at least occasionally. So something that he could go for here. In terms of the bans, I think the really interesting one is the Shadow Fiend. We've seen the Mech Shadow Fiend. Air ran that yesterday, and they ran it in conjunction with the Pretty Ha Chen, which was now banned second phase. So it looks to me like Tongfu a little bit worried about getting pushed in early. Avenge, just kind of a standard go-to support ban. The hero feels very strong right now, and I do want to mention that there was a recent patch. I've hardly even had a chance to look at it, to be honest, but 6.83b just dropped, I believe. Or is it C? I think it's B. Yeah, so the big changes, they're all fair. Respawn time was changed in terms of how it scales. I haven't actually had a chance to crunch the math on that just yet, but Anchor Smash Radius was reduced. The boulder damage from the Brewmaster Earth Piano was cut in half from 100 to 50. Pounce damage was reduced a little bit at all levels. Juggernaut base armor reduced by 1. The Omni/cast range reduced from 450 to 350. That's probably one of the biggest changes in this patch. And along with that Chronosphere, the mana cost scales differently now. Fairly significant increase in terms of the mana cost at the higher levels. So the level 3 Chrono, instead of 200, it's now 300. And Venge was hit a little bit. The stun has a 10-second cooldown at level... It used to have a 10-second cooldown at all levels, but now it starts at 13, and you've got to level it up to get it down to 10. So less incentive to go for that Wave of Terror Aura build and just take the 1 point and stun. But I think we'll still see a decent amount of it. 13 versus 10 seconds is a significant difference, but I don't know if it's enough to justify not bringing all that additional physical damage to the table. One of those things that will probably depend on the draft. But, okay, with that said, draft underway now. We're going to see the Axe Wisp picked up by Tongfu. Very aggressive picks as they move into a Juggernaut Skywrath Mage. This is a lineup that just looks like they want to face rush HGT. HGT going for much more of a team fight oriented lineup. Disruptor support pick. The Brewmaster now snapped up, so probably... Well, they'll need that second support hero here for either Pretty Ha or Kaka, and then they'll need what looks to be their off-laner. So probably the Air Brewmaster, of course, his Brewmaster, a signature staple hero. So it looks like it will be the ZSMJ Ember, the Air Brew in the mid lane, and then they'll need something for Icy to take to the off-lane. In terms of off-laners out there right now, there's a Clockwork, not that great synergy with their draft. There's a Centaur, also not that great. Let me bring up my heroes list. Let's see, what do they have to work with? They could always just abandon the offlane. There's Doom. I think Doom, one of the heroes we could see. Wisp generally matches up well against him if the Wisp is able to hide and just relocate teammates out. And okay, there you go. Man, what a call, LD. You're so smart. The Icy Doom. All right, so they get a hero that can go to the jungle. This has been the growing trend in China and actually in other regions to some extent as well. The 4-position heroes, sometimes we've even seen teams just run a jungler and not abandon the offlane at all. That's an E-home staple, it looks like, at this stage. Often putting in Flame on a Bloodseeker in the woods and then running something else like a Clockwork for the offlane. Tongfu going to remove the Rubik now. Interesting. It is just a solid support hero in this patch, but Tongfu don't really have that many great spells to steal. I feel like Rubik would be a lot better for Tongfu than it would be for HGT, but they obviously have their mind set on something different. It'll be a core, most likely the solo mid, to go with this Wisp.
5 seconds
I guess it could be a tri-lane, Axe, Wisp, Skywrath. There's a lot of ways to lane this. Tongfu gonna have the Invoker banned out against them, though. So it looks like HGT not expecting the Wisp to be dual laning with, or if it is, it's dual laning with like an Axe or a Juggernaut, which is... Axe not a hero that uses the Wisp's mana particularly well. Generally when we see Wisp picks, it's more with heroes that can really take advantage of that. They could run that Skywrath Wisp dual roam combo though. Very, very squishy, but very potent at finding the kills. Especially once they get level 3 or so, level 4 even on the Wisp. A core. They don't have they have one hero that can shut down Brew with the Skywrath Silence. Access Call. Feels like they need a little more burst and lockdown here if they want to take these big fights. So it'll be a core for mid. Storm even? I am alt-tabbed looking at the heroes list right now. Alchemist we've seen a bit lately. I don't know if Alk is your go-to this game. H-Apparition was banned, who's one of the best heroes versus him. Tanky carries. The Bristleback's already banned. I feel like they still need an ideal Wisp partner. So Tiny's out there. Sven's out there. We've seen some Medusa picks. I don't know if you want to go Medusa against this particular draft with the Doom pick in particular. And it seems Tongfu are also a little flummoxed. They have given HGT a ridiculously strong teamfight lineup, and I don't think there's any one pick that will allow Tongfu to match it. They look more to snowball this game. So along those lines, there's heroes like Queen of Pain. Oh, Tongfu will go for the Slark. Okay. So as I mentioned, just to reiterate, Pounce was nerfed. Instead of at level 4, it used to have 220 damage. Now it is 200, and it scales accordingly downwards from there. So it's not a huge nerf, but it is a slight one. It suits their draft, though. Slark actually used to be terrible against Doom, back when Doom disabled passives without Aghanims, but now that it doesn't, he's actually pretty decent in the early, the first like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on when the Doom goes for an Eggs. So, pretty much a mandatory pickup now for HGT, but this suits the overall Tongfu draft. They know they're not going to win team fights. They want to split push, spread the map, find pickoffs, relocate. Don't let HGT group up for team fights. As for HGT, the much stronger 5-man, they need a second support here to go with the Disruptor. They have good lockdown for Slark, I would say, overall. No. Okay, they'll go Clockwork. So support Clock, or no, they're gonna run the they're gonna run the Jungle Doom. So it will be the Jungle Doom from HGT. Icy will go to the off lane, so it'll be a Kaka Doom. They have done this. They'd have done this occasionally. He'll normally go Tranquil Boots and Orb of Venom, and then he generally is very active. You're unlikely to see Kaka just AFK in the jungle and go straight for the Midas, just kind of chill there. He likes to get involved in fights fairly. Oh no! Why does Dota not recognize certain keys sometimes? All right, well we got the bifocal icons. I don't need glasses anymore, I guess. I'm actually the only one in my family who doesn't wear glasses. I have 3 siblings and of course my parents, and all 5 of them, guys, they're genetically inferior. They need this. They need their contacts, their glasses. My mom's blind as a bat without them. Still got that 20/10 vision. For now. I've probably just jinxed myself. I'm going to lose my vision entirely within the next year. Well, I'll enjoy it while I can anyway. Hopefully it gets me through this game. For Tongfu, we've got U9 playing the offlane Juggernaut for now. They're going to run LPC on the Io. Kabu going to be playing the support Skywrath. He's an old-school Tongfu player, dating back to TI2. He's had an up-and-down career. I consider him a journeyman, Kabu. He's been around the block, standing in for Rattlesnake. Well, not standing in, but a part of that old Rattlesnake roster back at TI3 that took down Goblek and co. to play their way in. And we'll have Kian playing the Axe, and that does leave Zen Q on the Slark. So with that said, introducing HGT, Icy on the offlane Clockwork, Air Brewmaster, get hype. This guy's a beast. Pretty Haw on your Disruptor, ZSMJ, the Ember Spirit, and that will be Kanka handling the Doom. So as you can see, the early boots, Tranquils, Orb of Venom incoming soon. The Air Brewmaster. Gonna be up against an Axe Wisp, though. Not an easy lane for Brew. Can't be evading those counter helixes, and I think that's where Axe actually matches up pretty well against Brewmaster. Not to mention, he's a great assassin. You jump on the Brew, if he gets into the kill zone, there's no chance to split. You just get punished. A little spin to win action going on. Just getting started here, though. U9 is the offlane Jug. Kill potential here for HGT. I wouldn't say it's non-existent. Jug shouldn't die, but at some point you run out of mana, you run out of regen, and then he can die. They can catch him with the glimpse, they can catch him with chains, or just run him down with Flame Guard after the Blade Fury wears off. Blade Fury will remove Flame Guard if this Ember chases, as long as they keep even on levels, but you can just kind of run away from him but stay in range, and then as soon as the Blade Fury ends, go back in for the kill. So I actually think this is a fairly dangerous lane for Juggernaut overall. His mid lane, there was a call on the air. He takes some heavy harassment from Kian. Sorry if anyone has feedback on how I pronounce the players' names, by the way, let me know. Chinese is not a language I'm very good at, unfortunately. You'd think I would be with all the Chinese Dota I've cast over the years, but just tweet at LD Dota. Let me know. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, and I will work on it, I promise. Icy and Kabu, of course, old teammates from that Rattlesnake. Did I just say Rattlesnake? Rattlesnake squad. It's been a while now. The old teammates, they're out to get each other. Bottom rune gonna spawn here soon. U9 will be contested though by that Jungle Doom, and they go in. They're not gonna be able to kill him here. He's got a Blade Fury to deal with any sort of Glimpse shenanigans, but no Glimpse skilled up just yet. Only a level 2 Disruptor. The Hasted Doom moves out. He's picked up an Alpha Wolf. This will accelerate the jungle process just a little bit, as he wants to hold on to that Alpha Wolf aura. The other nice thing is it doesn't cost mana, and for Jungle Doom early on, mana can be a bit of an issue. He's bought the Ring of... he has bought his Tranquil Boots now, so with the Tranquil Boots, the jungling gets a bit easier. And we may see the Doom with a rune start to go around the map and set things up. You get like a haste rune on the Doom or maybe an invis. You can potentially go for some kills. He'll salve. And he'll rotate back into the jungle. So they have been stacking the jungle for LPC. He's going for the very efficient break down the trees, get the double. Uh-oh. Not enough spins just yet for our Axe, but he's working on them. But yeah, you break down the trees, pull this one at 55. Or sorry, a 53, and then this one at 55, and get your double stack going. So something Axe can really take advantage of, and that is one way in which he does synergize very nicely with Wisp. So they're going to go in, start clearing out the stacks here. This should give the Axe a lot of items. And he's going to call now just to tank up a bit. And the cool thing about this is it gives U9 a lane, because bottom lane is just not working for him. So he'll now get his levels here. Axe will also be effective already. The line's being drawn by Pretty Haw, but there's really nothing the Radiant team can do about this. Brewmaster no 6, Clockwork no 6. It's far too early to really contest these stacks. Just snags 800 gold. Beautiful. Beautiful, baby. Air's gonna now be in a bit of trouble, as this Axe will continue to bully him in the lane. So they're gonna send the Juggernaut packing, or maybe not. He's rotating off. Overall, Axe farming well, Slark farming well, and looking at HGT, their CS is not particularly great on their cores, but they do make up for it by having the 4-position Doom. Still, overall, with the jungle efficiency, they fall behind now. So we'll see Juggernaut and Wisp, they'll partner up together. LPC just being as helpful as possible wherever you can. Kaka gonna buy some Observer Wards. Not seeing anyone to harass this game. It looks like he will opt to skip the Orb of Venom and probably just go straight for the Midas. You more see him getting the Orb of Venom when there's heroes that he could bully and potentially go for kills on.
Tower is under attack.
He will buy a smoke. HGT looking to defend this bottom, or push this bottom lane. Tongfu looking to hold the line. And U9 will walk in, gets Thunderstruck. Can he get the tower tonight? That's the big question here. Only a level 3 Disruptor, and now we go. Blade Fury used on ZSMJ. Oh, they're spinning. Are they winning? ZSMJ low. One more auto tech will get the kill. The tether. It's too late. He pokes him once. LPC gonna die as well. The Alpha Wafara making the difference here. Oh my. That glimpse back. Very unfortunate. Well played by Pretty Hall, and you really got to be careful when you're up against Disruptor. If they have 3 there, I think that turns out much better for Tongfu. In fact, I think they get the first blood if the Skyrrath's able to hang around. That's a very costly glimpse back. Still, well played. In good news, though, Axe will have a fast blink for Tongfu. They give up the first blood and a double kill, but Axe the kind of hero that can, by himself, look to turn a game around. He hits level 6, the Culling Blade now online. Looks like he may... I'm not sure if he went for the dunk on the Brew or just used this just to accelerate his jungle process. Brewmaster also about to... It does hit level 6, so he's got the split. A nice fancy haste runes picked up as well. Let's see. Who can he kill? Wisp, potentially, depending on if there's a tether target nearby. I think they want to come into the woods and contest this Axe. Try and slow down his Blink Dagger, if at all humanly possible. Skywrath off in the woods. Gonna rotate down a bit. Tongfu still... The engine for this game will be the Axe Blink. Once that's up, they'll look to go. I see hook shots in, though, and LPC just used his tether. Oh, no. That's one way to die as a Wisp. Do they look for the trade? Cannon position. No Blink Dagger yet, though. Oh, they plop down an Observer Ward. They get eyeballs on him. Nice awareness there by Kakan. Knowing that the Axe is likely to be off in the woods, also just that the Wisp will be going there to stack, that's a really nice ward for this stage of the game. And finally, at long last, the Blink Dagger is purchased. Zen is farming pretty well, though. Slark having relatively free farm. 54 CS. A hero that can take over the game, especially if the Doom doesn't get a powerful start. So far, Kaka 1-0 and 2, though, so... that's pretty powerful. Doom already up, and just looking for that first Wisp gank. Managed to get caught on the hill there, going for tethers. The courier almost ends up going down. Barely manages to stay alive. It looks like air went onto it and brought it low. Now Slark delivering his completed Reign of the Kill. So he's got all the basics ready to fight. And the smoke comes out from Tongfu. Axe getting... in position for the jump in mid. They really want to kill off this Brewmaster, delay his Blink Dagger, but he's hasted now. Not an easy target to jump on. And he will walk in for that creep. But they're not feeling it. They're definitely not feeling it. So I think if you're Tongfu now, given that you can't go on mid, get the Wisp level 6. Once you get that, then you can start making things happen around the map. A pretty timely Doom Midas. 9 minutes on this. This is going to be one fat Doom. They need to put pressure somewhere right now. HGT running a very level 6 dependent draft. They're getting close to it, though. Disruptor about to hit level 6. Tongfu, despite picking Skywrath, didn't set up any early kills with it. They have the Relocate Blink Dagger. That's their main tool for finding pickoffs now, but the offlane Juggernaut... rather underwhelming. They're not really going to be able to abuse Healing Ward particularly well. Yeah, Wisp Tether will give you the double heal, but it's not like they can go for a heavy push lineup. That's just not what Slark and X do. And it's also not like they could try to go into the Roche Pit, but you're up against Clockwork, so he should be able to scout it, keep some eyes on it, and make it difficult for Tongfu to sneak anything. Overall, the nature of their draft is ideally to start snowballing, and certainly not to be giving up kills early on in the game to an extremely potent mid-game fighting lineup. HGT are going to move, though, as a pack of 5 towards the Roshan Pit. Air waiting for the 10-minute rune. Everybody congregating. Just want to really secure that bounty rune. Well, let me tell you, folks, bounty rune secured! The 5-hero bounty rune check. Still waiting for the first relocate gank. I don't think X has even shown his Blink Dagger in the lane yet. Kian has mostly just been off in the woods. Very boring game. No, I'm just kidding. I was expecting more action though. You see Axe, Juggernaut, Slark. Very passive so far. Both teams fighting fairly deliberately, and I think if you're HGT, you're happy with this pace because you're running a Doom who's getting absolute free farm in the woods. Slark is farming well, but Doom and Disruptor can deal with the Slark. So he AFK farms. He didn't go for a Midas. He may be going back for one out to 2,000 gold. There's just no openings really for LPC and Kian. They don't have anyone setting them up, so they just keep on farming. Ideally with the Wisp, you want one hero that goes around opening up the ganks, and then the Wisp just relocates in. But the hero that opens up the ganks is also the one that's mostly been partnered with the Wisp, so they don't have that +1 X factor. They do have Omni Slash now. Their kill potential somewhat there for Tongfu. But they have to take fights away from towers. If you take a fight near a tower, unless you can just assassinate a hero off the bat, then you get counter-ganked with the Clockwork, Brewmaster, Doom, Disruptor even. Fantastic for that as well. Tongfu now moving back through their woods. They have a smoke finally. Kabu has hit level 6. I guess this is what they're waiting for. So then they can get the Berserker's Call Mystic Flare. But while they were waiting for that, HGT decided to get aggressive. They 5-man smoke. Bottom lane's pushing. This is a perfect time to go for a smoke gank. Very well chosen by HGT. Oh, it's Trouble City for LPC. He tethers back just a few inches, but Sleight of Fist will finish him off, and they get an easy takedown here. As Axe, oh, he gets doomed. Now the Remnant forward. They hook him as well. There's no Wisp buyback. There's no way to protect him. Mystic Flare, though, might turn this. Icy on the run. Kian dropping low and will fall in the Static Storm. Now the Brew Split. 3, 4. Is it going to be 5? The Slark actually engaging into this. Icy going to get picked off. Zinc now on the run. Zin Q trying to get the hell out of here, but he gets glimpsed on back. And now he's in trouble. They clap him. They trap him. He's got to leap in just a second here, but he ends up falling. Oh my goodness, it's a team wipe. 8-1. Oh no. Tongfu turning into Tong Food. That was just ugly. Ugly. Uh-oh. Cat wants to go for the bottle steal, it looks like, and there's no Mystic Flare. He just charges in. They're going to relocate as well. They might be able to turn this one. Could Tongfu get their vengeance? They have an Omni Slash. He's looking for a target, maybe. He gets Clockwork caught out by the Cogs. Ends up Omni Slashing his way out of the Cogs, though. Big plays as he retreats. Ooh, 9. What a... Oh, that would have been so great if he ended up living. That was still pretty cool, though. In the end, though, not good enough to make up for the 3,000 gold swing. They do get 800 back, though. Oh, maybe with this kill it will be. Cock trapped down the trees. Looks like he'll end up going down. No, hookshot is there. Now, Zin Q trapped in, and he'll survive for a time, but eventually the Doom ends up falling. Air, a couple more auto attacks, one more swipe of that sword, and he will manage to bring down the IO. A bloody aftermath to this fight. Well, it started off 8-1. It ends up ending 10-5. So first a team wipe, 5-0 there, and then a 2-4. So the overall team fight, a 7-4. Still favoring HGT, but not as brutal as you might expect. And since HGT was leading, it evens things out a little bit with the slight rubber band effect. I think it's good news for Tongfu though. Slark is the lead farmer, and Doom did die. So Slark ends up going down, but you stay ahead of the Doom a bit here, and until he gets eggs, he's not a huge threat to kill you. Already well on his way to his next item, though. BKB inbound. Are they going to go for another smoke? Pretty Haw, Air, Icy, Kaka. All grouping up, clustering in the mid lane, just afraid to go off on their own because they know against the Wisp, you go off on your own, Axe, one of the better heroes to kill in that situation. So they are playing a bit defensively. Now they're going to smoke. Radiant Vision right now is decent. They've got a nice Observe Ward planted down deep behind enemy lines. A ward towards the bottom rune. And they're going to go protect ZSMJ. I guess expecting this is where Tongfu looks to strike, but Tongfu is just using this time to farm. Slark now picking up his ultimate orb, working towards that probable Eye of Scotty. They were off in the jungle with the Axe, still chilling. Now they will smoke in their own right as a rocket comes in. HGT should expect a bit of a smoke gank, though. They see behind the tower, there's nobody there. And with the wards they already have, that means the map's just a bit too empty. Now they fire a rocket down towards the bottom lane, still searching for Tongfu. But again, they remain smoked. And now Pretty Hall goes for a Midas. The pace of this game, extremely slow overall. There was that one flurry of action. I think 11 kills in like a minute and a half. But in general, it's been a very patient defensive game for both teams. And they know if this goes late, they'll need a little bit more lockdown to deal with the enemy Slark. So you go for the Eggs Doom eventually. For now, he goes BKB, and you try to get that Disruptor Eggs out as well. Between that, they'll have two pretty reliable tools to deal with the BKB. Drum's now secured by your Juggernaut. U9, just in catch-up mode at this point, I think is what you would say. He doesn't go for the Mask of Madness build this game. No Yasha. Is up against a ton of nuke damage, so it's going for more of a utility Juggernaut, trying to tank up a bit. They do still have good Rosh potential. With the Wisp and the Jug, if you wanted to go for that build, they could Rosh relatively early. An Axe can help tank it quite a bit. Speaking of the Axe, what does he go for next? He completed his treads up to 1500 gold. Blade Mail this game could be decent. But Ember is invulnerable and Sleight of Fist. Doom about to get a BKB. Brewmaster will likely be splitting. Maybe even just go straight Eggs. He's just saving his money for now. And HGT. Oh, they're going to TP in 5 to mid. Bottom lane is pushing, though, for the Dire side. No vision right now. Let's see if they're going to notice this. ZSMJ charging on into the lane. They also don't have eyes on the Dire side. Now they still have not seen him. Your Juggernaut just hanging back mid lane for Tongfu as they make their way up the ramp. I see. Trying to breach high ground here safely without being detected, and he will be spotted out by Kabu. Hookshot comes through. It's on the mark, and Kabu is going to drop, although he does manage to get off a Mystic Flare. Now the call coming out from Can. He needs a couple more extra spins, but he gets doomed, focused, and dealt with. In the meantime, the Wisp has been, well, quickly picked off. Brought the Slark into this fight, but so far, a 3-for-1 exchange. They're going to buy back on the Axe to try and turn it. Chop number 1. Well, we get some more chops. He's heating up. He looks for a second. Starts to spin. Brewmaster now splitting. Remember, this is an Axe buyback. He can't afford to be going down here. Clockwork also buys back and rejoins the fight. Chasing onwards to Can. Can't quite kill him yet. U9 just blade fearing for now to dodge away from a potential boulder toss. Will Brew be able to blink his way out of here? He heads to the south air. Oh, he dodges it. They end up losing that Slark as well on the way out. Another death. I see. He'll get chopped. Nope. Can't dunk. That one rims right out. Still, a kill's a kill. This game has just been... It's complete silence, and then it's an insane amount of noise in terms of the action breaking out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they will begin sieging the tier 1 mid. HGT, without their ultimates, they're extremely ult dependent. They have very little left to address these fights when the ults are down. Static Storm coming up soon, but they don't have a Brewmaster split. They still don't have their Doom. It's cooling down relatively quickly, though. That's how long that last fight was. And they're going to look to bring in the whole gang. U9 trapped out for now. They get off the call. Mystic Flare combination as a Blade Fury and U9 will dodge out of the Static Storm damage. Zinq going to leap forward, gets a secondary kill. And And the chase is on. Tongfu clawing their way back into this game. They are neck and neck with HGT so far in the group stage and not ready to give up the fight just yet. You can just see the moments of action. We've had a little bit of action in the laning stage. Nothing for like 8 minutes. A destructive 2-minute, 3-minute window here as a total of 11, 12 kills happen. And then one more fairly active punctuation mark to round things off. Slark is farming nicely, though. Picks up the Eye of Scotty at 21 minutes. Very fast farm on the Slark, and what's Kaka going to go for now? He's completed his BKB point booster inbound. Yeah, I think this is a mandatory pickup. Against Slark, you have to get a fast eggs. Until you do, he can always just run away into the fog, and suddenly he's healing his way through the Doom, and the spell can quickly become close to useless against him. One of the better Doom counters before the eggs. After it, everything changes. Time for Tongfu to smoke. Your Dire squad makes their way down bottom, and at the same time HGT get in position. Juggernaut, the one who spotted out. Everybody engages as the Axe leaps forward. He doesn't manage to latch onto a target. They doom a Blade Fury and Juggernaut. He's not pursued out by ZSMJ. Disruptor killing off the Scarlet Mage, and now Kaka. He's tanky and healthy through this. Still is the BKB as Cam is pursued. Slark trying to focus somebody down here. He can't get a quick kill. He's now turned his attention to the Ember. Can't really kill him off either. Xingqiu again with the Dark Pack, surviving as long as possible here. Wisp keeping him in healthy shape. LPC swinging his way around the trees. The Slark ends up getting a counter kill. 2 for 3. Almost the Ember's now dead. He is off in the tree line, though. Can't quite finish him off, and now Slark against the world. But he has his ulti. He goes into Kaka, and with the Eye of Scotty, it won't be an easy takedown. Now Air in trouble. Air's going to have to turn tail and run. A leap forward. This could be the 4th kill of the fight. Dark Pacting, committing. Is he going to get the kill? Evasion? No evasion. Now ZSMJ in trouble. Oh, ZSMJ, you can't take this fight, my friend. That's a wipe. That's a triple kill. They bring them all down. Pretty hot, just barely respawning. Oh, my goodness. Slark Sama 8-2 and 3. Well, they definitely didn't see that coming. I have to say, MVP of that fight, most definitely the Wisp, who somehow managed to survive for an ungodly amount of time through it all. Didn't buy back, never rejoined the fight, just was there for 80-90% of it, allowing Xingqiu to play that aggressively and make the fight happen. All of a sudden now Slark up to 2.2k gold with an Aegis as well if he wants it. No, they're going to give it to the Axe, actually. That's an interesting choice. Oh, the tides have turned. All of a sudden, a dramatic plummet downwards in the gold graph. Now, granted, 4 heroes on Tongfu end up dying. So it wasn't that one-sided. 5 for 4, but considering Slark gets a triple kill, and then they go on to secure the Aegis, it's still trouble. HGT can't be feeling good after that fight. Slark had stolen, it looks like 40-ish stacks. That's why he started chewing through that Ember so quickly, and his Essence Shift is now maxed. A lot of deeps. They have relocate as well, so if Slark gets farmed enough, these two can go around solo killing pretty much anyone with the Abyssal Blade, which is on its way. Basher coming out now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower,
and it becomes a game of whether the Doom can just shut down the Slark in team fights. If he can, the rest of HGT, as we saw, can easily deal with the Slark, or the rest of the Slark's team. But Juggernaut, Phase Drums Midas, he's not going to carry the fights. The Axe is a good initiator and tank, but he's not that farm. He's not snowballing, going defensive items. It's all about whether or not the Slark can do what he did last fight consistently.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And I think for HGT, looking at that last fight, dooming the Juggernaut may be okay in that fight, but moving forward, they really need to reserve the Doom for the Wisp or the Slark. Those are the heroes that are... The Slark, obviously, the big damage dealer, and the Wisp, the one that keeps him alive for ages.
Boom,
You take the Slark out of the fight, and it's an HGT fight. They're just going to back off, relax for a little bit, continue farming up. HGT have kind of the wind taken out of their sails. They'll wait for the Doomags. Outside of that, though, the question is, like, what else are they really building that's a game-changing item? I don't see it right now. ZSMJ going towards the Manta. Maybe goes back for the Battle Fury after the casual Yasha, but Manta isn't a game-changing item this time. It's good against Omni Slash. It's good to remove the Skywrath Mage, Ancient Seal. It's a valid choice, but it doesn't turn fights in any sort of dramatic way. Whereas, like, the Doomags can be a tide turner. Disruptor Eggs would be pretty big, potentially, but he's a long way off from that. So we hit that 26-minute mark. The score 18-15, favoring HGT. Slark, halfway now to the Sacred Relic to complete that Abyssal Blade. Actually, a little bit over halfway. We're looking at like a 28-minute, 27, probably 28-minute Abyssal Blade here. There have been it's been a very low, quiet Wisp game, I would say. Not low impact. He had a huge impact in that last fight bottom, but it hasn't been one of those Wisp games where the Wisp constantly goes around setting things up. Partially because HGT are 5-manning, and partially, I think, just because they haven't been finding openings with the Axe pick. He got that fast blink and has been relatively off the map since then. Manta now complete, so Disruptor, or rather Ember. Ember gets a good solution here for the Skywrath Mage. Kian and Unai going to move their way bottom. Kabu joining them. They swing to the south, now marching eastward. Looking for air, perhaps, although he's currently in Viz. Is there a gem? Any detection? Nothing on Tongfu. Looks like they should be okay. Air's Brewmaster just going to go ahead and TP out. Fairly close to being in trouble. Kabu was scouting out for him a bit, but not going to end up being able to find him.
Tower is under attack.
HGT just looking for the big team fights where possible. Now the Aghanim Scepter picked up on Kaka. Shiva's then Refresher, most likely coming next. And they always have that as their insurance policy. No matter how farmed the Slark gets, one good Doom is all it takes. It really is. It's the ability. It's the ability to turn this kind of a game around. I still feel, even after the last few engagements, that it's just the one hero you have to worry about. Jug, still looking at net worth. He's behind the Ember, behind the Doom. The itemization also is not really a very offensive one. Phase Drums Manta, a lot of mobility, fairly high stats, but it's not until you get like the Butterfly on top of this, or maybe that MKB potentially, whatever it is, your next big item that he starts to actually pack a punch in fights. And now BKB is going to complicate the picture. So Slark not going for the completed Abyssal just yet. He'll back off. And meanwhile, HGT making their way towards the top side. There's no vision from the Radiant, but there is for the Radiant, not for the Dire, though. Kian gets jumped, caught out, and quickly dealt with. Are they going to engage on the back of this? Slark gets doomed. He's got a Dark Pack. That does not remove Doom, unfortunately. Relocate was already used to try and help out in this fight. Xingqiu dropping low. Will he end up falling before the relocate back? Yes, he will. Oh, Wisp. Run. Will it retreat out successfully? Mystic Flare used to try and turn the Slark. No buyback, as he just bought the BKB. LPC now tethering to the south, but without the Slark, they just struggle to take this fight, it looks like. They do get two. Brewmaster's split gonna end. ZSMJ still standing strong. Can Juggernaut be the big damage dealer? It doesn't look like it. U9 finished off. It's a team wipe going HGT's way. A triple for ZSMJ God. Yeah, the Slark dies, and the fight is not happening. And on top of that, Axe actually fought back and died again. That's a costly exchange. A 2 for 6. A 5,000 gold swing. Mamma mia.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
This game has just been such a frenzy.
Dire's middle tower.
Nothing.
Dire's top tower
Couple of kills. Nothing. Massive quantity of kills. Nothing. Massive pile of kills. Nothing. It starts to equalize a little bit here, but there's just like, it's very funny how quiet the game is, and then how there's just these insane flurries of action all of a sudden. I feel like one of those Dota games, you step away from your computer, you might have come back and missed nothing, or you might come back and you've missed, like, the entire game. Like, 15 kills, multiple buybacks, Roshan. So, the safe solution, guys, is don't leave your PCs anymore. Never again. That's the game plan for HGT, though. Just get that Doom off on Slark, and there's... for Tongfu, they either need the Axe to bail him out, or ideally a defensive relocate just to wait out the Axe. Unai will get trapped mid lane with Static Storm here. He needs a 4-step out and he'll get it, but he gets Glimpse back. He Blade Furies out of the Glimpse. Nicely done. Axe jumps in. Unfortunately, he pops off the cogs, and now he gets chained as HGT look for the retreat, but Xingqiu leaping forward. He gets the bash. He's going to get the kill there. Now hunting Kaka. He gets caught. He can't Doom yet. They focus him down quickly. He gets chopped and finished off. It goes back the other way. It's Tongfu's turn to find kills. They bring down 3. They're looking for the mid-tier 2. They're going to push right in. This Dota game has suddenly become a game of ping-pong. Go through the top lane. HGT stomping. Now come right back down mid. Tongfu's turn to counter-punch. It's getting wacky and wild here in our opening game 1 of this best-of-2 series. Now they look for the high ground breach. No Doom buyback. No buyback on clock. And nothing for the Disruptor. This is a lane of Rax, it looks like. Tongfu right back in it. In fact, now on top, potentially. Glyph used. They've got 15 seconds to do it. They may end up losing heroes if they stick around, but if they get a lane of Rax, perhaps it's worth it. Checking their buybacks just in case. Jug as well as Slark both have it, and the melee Rax wound up falling. Tongfu coming right back into this game, and now retreating out safely. Clockwork, too far away, it looks like, to be able to get off a hook shot. And what would only put the cherry on top is if Roshan had respawned. But fortunately for HGT, it has not just yet. Close, though. Very close. Wisp actually going to go back for a gem. Does have the completed mech as well. Ooh, that's a big one. Gets the mech, gets the gem. And with this... Looking at the Radiant Vision right now, they only have 1 Observer Ward out. That's probably going to be dewarded soon. Oh, actually, no, they have this one. Just placed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
HGT just up against the spread offense. They need to find a way to force these big team fights, but it has to be with the Doom jumping the Slark. Maybe the Wisp, but I think it needs to be the Slark, to be honest. Speaking of that Doom, how's his item progression been since the Axe? Now picks up a plate mail. They're going to need a 6-slotted Doom, I feel, at this rate. Shiva's, Refresher. Maybe you go for an AC or a Heart at that point. That's got to be the item. Maybe even a Hex wouldn't be bad. Could always go the ROTK build. You know, get your Sandra and Yasha, get your Mjolnir. Go pure right-click Doom. Take stats. Don't even skill your ultimate. No, he did skill his ultimate. It was a fun build, though. Battle Fury now. Finally done. It looks like they're going to relocate 3 top, but already the Ember's gone. So, ZSFJ ends up going back for a Battle Fury after the Manta. It's a very late Battle Fury, and a lot of the value of the Battle Fury is lost when you get at this stage of the game. You go for the Battle Fury first, it actually accelerates your farm a lot, but now... It will accelerate your farm, but because you hit that accelerator so late into the game, it takes a while to see the rewards of it. And Tongfu, I guess the thing is, at some point you're going to need it. You lose a lane of Rax, this will help you push it out. CSMJ wants to get the creepy equilibrium back. Obviously, it's still a good damage item on the Ember Spirit. Fairly cost-effective damage for... Considering how many auto attacks he gets off, if you're cleaving, it really adds up with the Sleight of Fist. And Brew will acquire an AC. That's a big item. They get the AC, they have the Vlads. They are still in this one, HGT. It's very even in terms of net worth. 1,000 gold discrepancy, a 2,500 gold lead for, or experience lead for Tongfu. They're at the Ancients now. Slark has his Abyssal Blade if he wants to buy it, but if he ends up going down, there could be trouble. He even leaps into the river, then he blinks out very rapidly back up the hill. The Xingqiu risk it with the Abyssal.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks.
They want to contest this Roshan, the Radiant team, but as soon as they show somebody backing off to mid, they're going to lose their Rax. Or they're going to lose the Rosh. And if they don't show someone backing off, then Those creeps are just going to keep on slowly marching in. Ember will end up being the one who defends. Now, he has a remnant down in the pit, but still, Tongfu know that the Ember's not there. This is very smart, actually. If they get the initiation, it could be huge. They do, and it's on the perfect target on Kaka. They go in with the call. He needs to match the Doom. This Slark, can he do it? Can he get off the Doom? He gets bashed. He won't be able to. Oh, no. That's not good. Slark's starting to stack up now. He's got the plus 14 Essence Shift and Rising. Working their way through the Brewmaster split. They're killing the Earth Panda inside of the split. And it looks like he may end up going down here. He blinks to the south. Oh, he reforms at the last second, and they just tap out. That's a good game. Is it a GG? I think no. I think that was an accidental GG. A fake GG. Doesn't help them win the game, though. That's for sure. They immediately cancel it. Slark looking almost unkillable. If they don't get the Doom off, he's just out of his mind. Now Jug picks up an Aghanim Scepter. We'll have another pause from HGT as they try to collect themselves. Uh-oh. It looks like the admins may be having some words here. I'm not sure if they're saying, since you called GG, it's game over. Maybe that's the discussion right now. Perhaps just asking why the pauses. It's a very chatty admin, though, I must say. And now we resume once more. Oh, Tongfu. Another big swing. A topsy-turvy graph it's been, but this one about a 5k gold swing, it looks like. Go, 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 go. You can do it, boys. Maybe they can't. Maybe they've lost their F9 keys. Not sure where to find it. Can't get this one on pause.
Roshan has fallen to the deity.
Slark will snap up the Aegis here. Gets the Abyssal Blade now. So now he buys the Abyssal and still has a second life to work with. This is the time. You go in on Kaka with the Abyssal, I think you just flat out kill him. Maybe with the Frost Armor he'll be able to live through it, but that just... It all comes down to if the Slark chain bashes him at that point. If he does, then you don't get off the Doom, you're in all kinds of trouble. I have to say the story of the last two fights has been the fact that Kian gets the jump and it's on the Doom. And they don't really have an answer for it. They could glimpse the axe back, but you're still taunted, and that gives them the time they need for the Slark to follow up the initiation with the Basher. Everybody on Tongfu beginning to get farmed. Kabu picking up his ultimate orb now. Working towards the probable Hex. Juggernaut, I mentioned the Ags. Now the big damage item, probably the next choice. What happened to their gem? Oh, it's on Kabu. Okay, so they did not lose their gem even. And the map gets dark for HGT. They've just got a lone observer ward out here near the river. But the top lane will be pushed in. They're going to have a high ground assault on their hands relatively soon, and it comes from the north perhaps. As Disruptor will park himself there in position. Axe now at the BKB. This means no glimpse back shenanigans are even possible anymore. If they wait for this BKB, he gets the blink initiation, then you have no solution for that, aside from just tanking. And hoping you're able to survive long enough.
Axe fades from sight.
Axe BKB now delivered and ready to go. Tongfu prepping for the assault. They want to breach this HGT base. I would have said HGT the favorites coming into this one. Actually, curious to see what the odds were. I'm guessing that they were indeed the favorites. In the meantime, they're going to do a bit of dewarding outside the base as Xin doesn't want to be the one to go in and hit buildings. That's kind of the issue here, and oh, you can just see Kian looking for the Doom right now. No, he's going to go for the Brew. That works too if they kill him quickly. Mystic Flare, can't even dunk in time. Now Xin trapped out, but with no Brewmaster, no split, they're going to have a big team fight on their hands, and they won't have the firepower to take it. Slark in front, he's even showing himself, but the Wisp sitting back behind him. You always have the defensive relocate, so you can't really Doom the Slark, but you kind of have to. Because if you don't, then this happens. He leaps onto the Disruptor. He gets doomed for his trouble. Wisp still able to bail him out if need be. LPC, you can see, just waiting. If he gets low, there should be that defensive relocate. But Xin fights through it. ZFSJ looking to poke him, and he's still got the Aegis anyway. So he'll end up popping the Aegis. They get their second lane of racks. HGT went for the fake GG, and now the real GG may be coming.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Boom, there it goes.
That Brewmaster pick. Again, Kian delivering with the axe initiations. That's the third time in as many fights that his quick picks have led to great victories for them. Is it fair to say the axe is back, or is that premature? He seems to be back now. He's a go-to pick. And now Doom on cooldown for 50 seconds. They don't have their most crucial lockdown for this fight. Air has his Brewmaster, and it just hasn't made the difference this game. It gets to the point now where Brewmaster offers you the auras, but little else besides it. There's a axe call as the Brewmaster goes in for his split. He gets it off. U9 trapped out. For the time being, they're going to Cyclone the Slark. They know they can't really deal with him, so they just try to ignore him as much as possible. But a nice 4-step out used to keep the Juggernaut alive. Kabu making the plays, and Slark finding his way through the entirety of the enemy team. Kaka has Doom in 15. Will he manage to get it off? If he can't, that's probably the end of times for this HGT game number 1. Surviving for now as your Jug. He buys a Basher as he retreats out of here, Slark. Eye on the prize. Kaka has Doom, but he gets bashed. He gets focused. He was mid-cast animation. He waves his arms around helplessly, but still can't even Doom. And now they'll lose more. Pretty Hall next. Tongfu wrecking HGT as they take the melee bottom. They'll take the Megas, and the real GG's now forthcoming. Tongfu take game 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Tongfu victory.
Just a topsy-turvy game. What else is there to say, really? 1 second, the Radiant team wins a 5-man fight. Next second, the Dire. Back and forth, up and down. Never really knew who was going to come out on top until those last few. And MVPs, probably LPC on the Wisp in that bottom fight, keeping the Slark alive to get the team wipe and the 3 hero kills. And shortly behind him would be Kian on the Axe. 3 great initiations in a row. Tongfu able to pull out this game. And they are the underdogs in this series. 38% of the bettors on Dota 2 Lounge believed in them. 62 went with HGT, so those bettors just hoping for a tie now. Guys, with that said, that's going to wrap up our first game. We've got game number 2 coming up soon. I'm LD. Thank you for joining us. We shall return.